Well, good morning, everybody. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to be here today with you. And my presentation will focus, my predecessor has talked already about life in detail. So I won't give any general ideas about life. I will just present some examples of life projects that have had a direct impact on policy making, as was requested by the organizers. All right, so I will start with an integrated project. It's a Polish project dealing with air quality in the Malopolska province. It's a province that struggles with poor air quality, and together with the neighboring regions of Silesia and Slovakia and Czech Republic, it's one of the most polluted regions in the European Union. So the main objective of this project is the full implementation of the Malopolska Air Quality Plan, adopted by the regional parliament in September 2013. The project itself has a budget of around 16 million. 10 million come from LIFE. But in any case, the project has mobilized already additional funding of 800 million from other sources. This additional funding helps to facilitate the implementation of the region's air quality plan and to improve the quality of life for around 20 million citizens. As for the direct result, 4 anti-smog regulations have been signed for Silesia, Opolskie, Lockie, and Mazowieckie regions, and as well as solid fuel ban has been introduced in Krakow. And that was done with the opposition, let's put it that way, of the national government. So that was hard to do, but the project is having such a success that even the national government is changing its attitude towards banning coal, and is considering changing the national policy. This is a prime example of how the European Union can contribute to the well-being of its citizens. And this project is generating interest even in other neighboring EU countries for doing similar things. Well, now we'll pass on to traditional projects, which is the bulk of the projects that we have. The first one, it's a project dealing with agriculture and climate change. And the main objective of this project was to develop strategies in the agricultural sector to mitigate its contribution to global warming. The project success led to the drafting of policy proposals for new EU environmental legislation. The project experts held meetings with MEPs in the European Parliament and brief officials in the European Commission, who welcomed the project's integrated approach to devising new measures affecting the common agricultural policy. A project report distributed in the European Parliament pinpointed how the project's findings could contribute to European Union goals in agriculture and rural development. Another project, in this case is an Italian project, that submitted their results when it was finalized to the IPPC technical group to include the new leather baiting technology as an emerging technique in the BREF tank document. They expect a decision from this technical group in the months to come to see if they really integrated. BREF are the best available technologies reference document adopted under the IPPC directive. And this project sent his to the Tanneries group. And like this particular example, we had many other LIFE projects that have produced documents and sent their results to to relevant briefs. At least we have a dozen of these. These are the project. The results achieved in this project have been the key to defending the Spanish government's position in the United Nations team, reviewing the air pollutants emissions inventory and projections. This has allowed, including conservation agriculture, as a measure to mitigate climate change. And this has major repercussions since there are so many million hectares in Europe dedicated to agriculture. So the conversion of this to conservation agriculture could help a lot of countries to mitigate climate change in their respective territories. Another project that deals again with climate change and agriculture is a Greek project, Olive Climate. The project contributed to the pilot phase for the elaboration of product environmental footprint category rules for olive oil, and they have already influenced one of the decisions of the Technical Advisory Group to recognize credits in the carbon footprint of olive tree products when it can be proven that the carbon is stored for more than 100 years in the wood. The work in this such a technical group is still ongoing. This is a very different project and very peculiar project. It is the first ever live project to deal with ship dismantling, which is a quite serious but sometimes overlooked problem, since it's not evident in our daily life. And the project developed guidelines and practices to promote efficient and environmental safe dismantling and recycling of ships. As part of the project's outreach, technical experts arranged a series of meetings with the Spanish MEPs to inform them about the initiative, solicit their interest, and ensure their support for the ongoing and follow-up activities. And this was vital to developing the project's political viability. Again, the results of this project had a direct impact on EU policy making, since they were included in the drafting of the European Union Ship Recycling Regulation, which was adopted in November 2013. Again, an impact at EU level. Another project, Spanish project, Aquaval. This project had more of a regional impact at policy level, in particular in the Valencia region. The results of the project affected the regional policy in the region of Valencia, as I said, leading to sustainable urban drainage systems. In particular, the regional flooding legislation adopted in November 2013 that was accompanied by a report that presented the results of this LIFE project into the legislation. And finally, a Italian LIFE project that created a network to successfully push for changes in the law of food waste. This is increasingly a very important subject at EU level. And this series of projects got together and they identify what were the critical limits of the regulations on waste and formulated concrete proposals to overcome them. These proposals were submitted to the Italian Parliament and Ministry of Environment in February 2014 during a consultation phase of the Italian plan for the prevention of food waste. And in 2016, Italy became the second European Union country to pass legislation that encourages supermarkets and restaurants to stop throwing away unsold food. The new law includes as well food safety regulations. And that is all. If you need more information, you have our websites where you can find everything about LIFE. Thank you very much.